One of the best things about the Mirror's Edge trailer was the fact that they've acknowledged that it's mastery of and the environment, and then they've put very much detailed focus into the development of the character and how they've advanced them from Mirror's Edge 1 into Mirror's Edge 2.
Yeah, I spent a lot of the time focusing on the character Faith, which I thought was kind of unusual because they didn't really do that much in the first game. But Mirror's Edge is kind of a cult game, so they kind of need to do that. Really, they need to go further into the story, which Mirror's Edge, it didn't have a strong story, to be honest. So I'm glad they're doing that. But most importantly, the best thing is they've understood what makes Mirror's Edge good. They've understood that it's all about mastery of the environment, that it's all about the movement, as they said. The gameplay, from what we've seen, looks a lot more cinematic. The field of view looks higher. It looks a lot faster paced. It doesn't look like it takes as long to get up to speed. I'm hoping they're going to add more moves into it, because one of the criticisms Mirror's Edge got was that it hasn't got enough moves. The gameplay mechanics were relatively simple.
We didn't seem to actually see any additions of new moves in the actual trailer or any of the actual concept art that they showed. But one of the things that we did see was the kind of scale that they were going for. It seemed very much a grand scale rather than the linear approach of the previous game.
Yeah, the first game, I mean, there's kind of a couple of ways. If you're going back and do the time trials, there seems to be kind of very few ways you can do it. It's all about just mastery of the controls, whereas on here they're going for like rewarding you for taking a more complicated but like a riskier route versus taking a much more simple but easier to find, safer kind of one for like lower skill level or whatever. So they seem to have got the right idea, really.
What they said was that for a more skilled player, they'll be able to take a quicker route, whereas a less skilled player will be able to kind of look around and think, well, okay, I can't go that route because I'm not quite skilled enough yet. But you'll always be able to take a safer route, which I think is a very good thing, because on the previous game, I found myself, I wasn't particularly skilled at it, trying to go the faster route and just failing, and I just couldn't find the actual safe route as such. Whereas on this one, they said it very explicitly, there's a fast route and there's a safe route, and there's probably a couple of other ones that they didn't mention. And I think that was a very positive thing, that they'd put enough detail into the environments that you have got the scope to go and look at it and say, oh, okay, I'll try this route, or I'll try this route, or this route.
So overall, it was kind of a disappointing show, though, because this is EA's big hit title that we were super excited about, and I know they said it's coming when it's ready, but we were expecting more of it, to be honest. I'm kind of disappointed.
What we really got was just an overview of the concept art, the development so far. It's very nice that they're showing us and almost doing a developer diary for us. But realistically, we'd hope by now that they would have actually come up with a level that we could see, or have at least come up with a couple of cutscenes if they're going to make it story driven. And they could have showed a bit more of the...
Or showed us kind of the scope for release coming in 2015, 16. I mean, we wouldn't want them to delay it or rush it, but...
A ballpark date would be nice.
Because everything was prototype footage, so this seemed very, very, very narrow right now. We haven't got really much info, and I was hoping for a lot more. So overall, it's looking like it's going to be quite an accessible game, really. I think it's going to be something that more people enjoy, because they say they're going for the open world approach. Just how open world it is, and whether it's like a proper full-on, you can go around the city open world or whatever, you got multiple ways. We still don't know. We'd like to know more about the game, really, but so far they seem to be on the right track.